Here with Bandits head coach Dakota Mason, looking back at that last weekend at home against Blackfalds, and then the game up in Sherwood Park. It was a tough weekend for the team, Dakota. What do you take away from last weekend?
Yeah, I thought at 5-on-5 we were right there in both games. I think we dictated a lot of the play, but then when you get down to what really went wrong, it was the penalties. Not only does it's frustrating to have to kill so many penalties every single game, but it gets everybody out of the flow of the game as well. There's guys on our bench that don't kill penalties, and when you're killing 6, 8, 10 minutes of penalty time per period, it really just hurts the whole team and the momentum of the game. I think if we can stay 5-on-5 and learn from the things that we practice on this week, I think it's going to be a different looking weekend for us, and that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, we talked about that before the game in Sherwood Park, trying to limit those penalties. So how do you use this week to try and coach that out of guys?
Yeah, it was a lot of video sessions, breaking down each penalty, how we could have avoided it, what we could have done differently. Penalties happen in a game, but none of those penalties last weekend were useful penalties. A lot of them were in O-zone, neutral zone. No penalties to take away a goal or a scoring effort. I think those are areas we can improve in. If you're going to take a penalty, it's going to be something that's preventing a goal or a high-quality chance. Obviously, you don't want to kill penalties, but if there is ever a time, that is the time to go to it. So for us, it's understanding that it doesn't make our team successful killing all those penalties, and we just got to get back to the basics.
And I kind of asked this before the game in Sherwood as well, just that getting that adversity early in the season, do you think there can be a benefit for that maybe you can use last weekend as a wake-up call?
For sure, but this isn't the only time that we're going to go through adversity. If a team goes through a season, they only really face adversity once, it's probably a pretty successful season. So, of course, we're hoping this is the only bump that we're going to come across this season, but it's not. The season is full of valleys and peaks. For us, it's about staying level. We got a young group, a lot of new faces, and it's about understanding that last weekend wasn't our standard. We got to get back to our standard. It's playing hard, it's playing aggressive, it's playing between the whistles, and it's playing with that attitude that we are the defending champions, and I think we got away from that as well.
Can you tell me about Liam Fitzpatrick and what he means to this team, what you hope to see from Liam this year? Because I thought despite the losses, he had a good weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing on the penalty kill. He's taking face-offs for it. He's playing on the power play. When you don't have a lot of returning guys, but you got one guy that's been through the battle 2 different times, it really means a lot. So we are absolutely leaning on him. The message comes across to the guys that if you want to look at what a championship player looks like and a Brooks Bandit hockey player looks like, it's Liam Fitzpatrick. He learned from his great role model brother, Kalen Fitzpatrick, who set an outstanding example of what it means to be a champion and what it means to be a Brooks Bandit hockey player. And Liam is living up to that with full color. So for him, it's important that he has that good season. He wants to get started on the right foot, and he's done that so far. And I actually had a good meeting with him this week about just maintaining. Don't try to do too much. What you're doing right now is exactly what we need. Our guys are really thriving off that, and I think he can continue to do that.
Okay, let's talk about the news of the day, the 2 transactions. First, tell us about Brett Calhoun. Lots of junior experience playing in the Western League. He's going to join the team. So tell us about Brett, and then just tell us about the decision with him coming in. You got to get rid of a 20-year-old, and unfortunately, Matthew Thomas has a new home.
Yeah, so for us, we needed to add a little bit more depth up front, a little bit more of a dog mentality on the puck. We got some guys coming back from injury that have that style of play, but I think that's where we were kind of lacking. We got some good skill in the group. We got some good size, some good speed, but what we're really lacking is that junior experience, guys that played in big minutes, played in the final minutes of games either way, plays on the penalty kill, plays on the power play, so he's going to be a big add for us. He's a tremendous hockey player, but everything we hear is how much of an outstanding human being is, and as you know firsthand, that's most important around here. When you can surround yourself with 25, 26 outstanding human beings that are also pretty good at hockey, it's going to make for a successful season. So we're extremely fortunate enough to have him in our lineup, and we're looking forward to see what he can do tonight. And then it's always a tough business, and then we told our guys early in the season, sometimes it's not just the best 25 or 26 guys that makes a team. You have to abide by some roster restrictions, and for us, we were right up against that 20-year-old limit. With us having 9D in-house, it just really came down to a couple guys, and unfortunately it was Matty that had to go, and for him, he's an outstanding kid. You want to talk about a kid that wanted to be here and wants to be a Brooks Bandit hockey player, it's him. So anytime you have to move a guy like that, it sucks, but we're extremely excited to see what he's going to do in Powell River, and we're going to see him pretty soon on that first game of the showcase.
All right, last one quickly is just about the game tonight and the Bucks. who are also coming off a tough weekend. What can we expect tonight?
Yeah, so our message to our group was we need to get better throughout the week. We need to come together, and I think we did that. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves. We can't assume that they didn't do the same thing. They definitely improved throughout the week. They've definitely came together. So it's about who's going to go out there and establish their game early. I think both teams are kind of fighting it early in the season. So it's a game like this that could really turn the tide for either team. We just need to play hard. We know what they do well. They know what we do well. I think I heard you talking about in your interview earlier about how they gave us troubles last year, and they play the same style. They're going to play hard. They're going to play aggressive down low. They're going to do some different things in the offensive zone that we're going to be ready for. But for us, it's about staying out of the penalty box, getting back to our offensive zone. We got to sustain more time offensively, have to slow them down in the neutral zone. So a little bit for us, it's a little bit less worried about who we're playing and focusing on ourselves tonight. And I think we're going to be ready to go.
Good luck tonight. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.